Yo, Chicago Sports Hub, what the fuck's going on? We got Bart here. Got another episode. Listen, I know that Cheetos shit the bed for us over the weekend last week. But this week's a new week. We're here to bounce fucking back, right?
We're bouncing back. We got MLB back. We
Oh,
got
yeah.
the Final Four. And we got a little bit of UFC matchmaking, we're trying to make. We're trying to make some fights in the bantamweight division right here. We're trying to be like Dana White.
Hell yeah, man. You want to dive into college basketball first real quick?
Yeah, let's do it. What's the
Yeah,
Final Four?
Final Four. Let's talk about Florida Atlantic versus San Diego State. Florida Atlantic, fucking underdog throughout the whole fucking tournament, bro. And they're shocking teams, man. I'm not gonna lie. They're pretty fucking good. They shoot the ball pretty good. They got perimeter defense on, certain guys on their team. And it's a good run. But I think I'm going to roll with San Diego State, man. Their defense showed the fuck out against Alabama a few games ago.
Mm-hmm. Against Creighton.
Yeah, against Creighton as well. They're a good shooting team. These guys been with each other for years now. Like, most of them were freshmen, sophomores. Now they're like juniors and seniors. So this group's been with each other for a minute. We know that chemistry's there. That's the only reason why I got San Diego State, man. Just because their defense, they shoot the ball good, and their chemistry's is pretty good. It's pretty there.
Man, as much as I want Florida Atlantic to keep going and, have like a Battle of Florida for the March Madness.
Oh, man.
Because it'd be Miami versus FAU. I just think San Diego State's defense is so... it's on another level. And Florida Atlantic, they're really small. I think their tallest player is their center might be 6'7". So
I believe so. Yeah.
So they play really, really small. So I think that San Diego State has a really good, they have a really big advantage over FAU. It's a bad matchup for them.
Yeah, man. So what, you got San Diego State?
Yeah, I got San Diego State. I'll even take it at -2.5.
Yeah, man. So that's what we got. We got San Diego State beating Florida Atlantic for that matchup. For the next one, we got UConn versus Miami. Man, this is going to be a really good game, man. Miami showed out the whole tournament, bro. They upset a lot of good teams, too. This fucking whole tournament, man, has been all over the place. And it's pretty good, though, to see because we don't have any number one seeds in this tournament at all.
Exactly. It's a 4 versus 5, and then because UConn's 4 and Miami's 5, and then Florida Atlantic is 9. They're all none of them are under 4 seed, so it is crazy. This tournament, nobody had a perfect bracket. Let's just say that. Yeah. Nobody had a perfect bracket. Nobody ever fucking does, but...
Yeah, Florida Atlantic's 9th seed, San Diego State's 5th seed, Miami's 5th seed, and UConn's 4th seed. So, yeah, you're right, Bart. Yeah, you're right. I think I'm going to roll with UConn here, man. Just because they've been showing out the whole damn tournament. But the last game they had against Gonzaga, man, it showed me, they're for real. They smoked the fuck out of Gonzaga. And Gonzaga's a really good basketball team.
Established during the tournament every year, make the Elite Eight pretty much every year the past couple of years. I got Miami, but I was just nodding my head in agreement with Sway about that Gonzaga game because UConn looked very impressive against Gonzaga, powerhouse college basketball team. Man, I'm riding with Miami. I think they got that Cinderella story, even though they're the 5th seed. UConn is -250 right now, I believe, against Miami.
Yeah, they are.
And then Miami is +200, but then I'm gonna rock with the underdogs. I might even alternate the spread to +7.5 for Miami too, if I'm feeling a little bit. Skeptical.
I feel you, man. Don't get me wrong. Miami's a good team. They're a good shooting team. They're damn near a lot of these players are going definitely to the NBA, and they're going to be some good shooters. But I just got to go with UConn, man. And this is a fun fact as well, too. 3 out of 4 championships in Texas. UConn won in 2004, UConn won in 2011, and they won in 2014. And also, if you guys don't know, the Final Four in the championship is in Houston, Texas this year. So I got UConn beating Miami, and if my prediction is going to be San Diego State versus UConn, I got UConn winning the championship, being San Diego State. That's my prediction for college basketball. But you got San Diego State and Miami, right?
I got San Diego State, Miami, California versus Florida, just as kind of good for the story. And ultimately, I'm gonna go with Miami.
Miami winning the championship?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I like that, man. But yeah, that's about it for college basketball Final Four. NBA playoffs are around the corner. Don't trip, y'all. We gonna dive into the NBA real soon.
And let's hope the Bulls can, keep it up and make a little run.
Yeah.
I know it's unlikely.
It's
Highly unlikely.
ass right now. It's fucking horrible.
I know, but maybe we'll pick it up. Maybe we'll pick it up and at least get past round one.
I will say though, Pat Beverly, I don't know. Ever since he went to the Bulls, the energy has woken the fuck up with the team. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. But let's dive into some UFC talk a little bit, man. We know that Cheeto lost last fight, but then Cheeto's over here calling out Peter Yan. I'm not gonna lie, that would be a nice matchup.
I would love to see Yan and Cheeto. Cheeto. Looking back on Cheeto's fights, how skilled is he, Sway? He's got a chin he's got a granite chin.
For sure.
But we've seen him his past couple wins. He was losing a lot of those fights. They were close fights. You can argue that he got lucky in some of those fights. I think if Peter Yan and Cheeto is booked, I do think Peter Yan wins it decisively. 50-45 or 30-27.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with you on that, man, because we both know these guys are both strikers, and is I don't know, man. I think I'm gonna lean with Cheeto here. Just it's kind of tough because Peter Yan, he's skilled. He's a B champion. He fought one of the best in his divisions as well.
Confidence right now.
And the thing that going back to Cheeto though, I should have thought about this. Looking back at Cheeto's past fights, he fought a bunch of old ass men. If you really think about it, And then Corey Sandhagen, he showed out, got the winner over Cheeto. Man, if Cheeto's next fight, he really has to prove, to the UFC, he's here and he still wants that title shot. So
exactly, he's not that old either, if I'm not mistaken.
No, he's not.
He's
not old.
30 or 32 in between that range.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know what's next for either of Cheeto or Yan because the bantamweight division is kind of picking up. I don't know if y'all noticed, but there's the top 6, top 7 fighters are all pretty established, right now.
Yeah, man. Let's talk about Corey Sandhagen. What's next for him? He beat Cheeto over the weekend, and he called out Murad the Machine. That'll be an interesting fight. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know who I'll have in that one, but
it's so tough with Merab and Corey Sandhagen because we saw what Merab did to Peter Yan. He didn't even let him get strike. It was just 50 takedown attempts through 5 rounds. And if he does that to every fighter, I don't see anyone beating him unless it's like a Derek Lewis, Curtis Blade situation, going in for a takedown, and the uppercut lands.
for sure.
That's the only way I see somebody beating Merab right now. So, Corey, I think do the smart thing, and if Sean O'Malley wants to fight you, beat that ass.
Yeah, definitely. I would like to see. I'm not gonna lie. I would like to see that fight. I wanted to see Cheeto versus O'Malley, but Cheeto didn't get the win. So I think Sandhagen versus O'Malley will be nice, and I'm definitely rocking with Sandhagen if they really book that fight.
It's a possible matchup. The other possible matchup for Merab is Umar Nurmagomedov.
Hoo-wee.
And since he doesn't want to fight for the title, he doesn't want to fight Aljo, his fucking boyfriend and shit. He's he's got to do something, and Dana's like, fuck it, throw him into the fire with the Dagestanis. He wants to fucking be, doing nothing basically right now. He's the number 1 contender, and you threw it away. I have never seen that in my whole UFC in my whole history of watching UFC, I've never seen the number 1 contender, clearly the number 1 contender, just beat former champ who was dominant. And he's like, I don't want to fight. He's like, I don't even want to move up. I'm just going to wait. I mean, in the fight game, your prime is only 3 3 years max, 3-4 years max. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck Merab Dvalishvili is thinking. But I do like Umar and Merab.
I do like that too. Man, I think Morales was just gonna wait and see what the fuck's going to happen with Henry Cejudo and Sterling. But nah, you gotta stay active, and I'm not gonna lie, that'll be a really, really good ass fight. Umar Nurmagomedov versus Murad the Machine, because we would be like, we're gonna see like, damn, who has the better grappling, who has the more dominant grappling and dominant wrestling, and that'd be really dope to see, man. Hopefully they could really book that shit.
It'd be a fun fight, and there's really no striking involved. Like there'd be maybe 10% striking for the fight, and it'll be a fun ass grappling fight that I think us fans would want to see. Because sure. These are 2 top level grapplers.
For sure, hell yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, what's next for Justin Gaethje? He beat Rafael Fiziev a few weeks ago.
Fucked him up. I don't understand how that was a majority decision.
And yeah, he wants to run it back with Dustin Poirier. That's the last loss he had besides Charles Oliveira. That'll be a nice fight to make. You know what I'm saying? Because we both know that's gonna be a movie. They're both gonna throw them bitches down. What you think about that one? Do you think that's the fight to make?
Justin Gaethje, Dustin Poirier?
Yeah.
I absolutely think it is the fight to make. It's going to sell pay-per-views. You could have it as a co-main or even like a feature for, the co-main on a big card. I think, honestly, Gaethje and Poirier for number 1 contender. Depending on Dariush and on what happens with Dariush and Charles Oliveira.
I agree. Dariush keeps on crying, this and that. So, let's see. If Dariush beats Charles Oliveira, then he definitely deserves a title strap. I think, Charles Oliveira is going to beat after that. So, that's about it, man, for UFC. For little possible matchups we could potentially have in the future. But next weekend, baby.
One more sway.
Go ahead,
we got Garbrandt and Dominic Cruz in the works. It'll be the second fight. And I know Dom Cruz has been out of action for a while, but he lost to Garbrandt. And I know he wants to get that get back on him.
Yeah, for sure. That's going to be another nice one, too. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of good ones coming up. But next week, man, I'm telling you right now, don't fucking miss out. A lot of good-ass fights, man.
The whole main card is stacked. You got Kevin Holland. You have Adrian Yanez.
Kevin Holland.
Yeah, Kevin Holland. Yeah, Santiago Peru. I don't know his last name, but he's a dog.
Bill Burns, Masvidal.
In Miami, so the pressure's on Jorge Masvidal too.
Oh yeah.
To get that win, and because that's his hometown, shit,
yeah.
And he's not even the main event in his hometown. He's got I feel like he feels some way about that, even though it's Izzy and Pereira main event. But I feel like he feels some type of way that he's not the closer on that card in his hometown.
Yeah, but does he fucking deserve it though?
Yeah. Nah.
But that's about it, man, for UFC. Stay tuned next weekend. It's only already fucking now. But MLB, man, season opener was today. There was some good predictions we gave out.
Baseball's back, baby.
It's back. Let's talk about the Chicago Cubs. I'm not gonna lie, they look pretty fucking good today. They beat Milwaukee 4-0. What's his name? Fucking the shortstop, Dansby Swanson. I'm sorry about that. Look good as hell. Got a few hits.
3 for 4.
Oh, okay.
Couple RBIs.
I would say I was gonna ask this question. Do you see the Cubs fighting for that wild card spot, and potentially win the division?
Honestly, I think they're gonna be hovering around 500, 81. I don't see them making the playoffs this year, but I do see the progress in the rebuild. We got rid of Chris Bryant, we got rid of Anthony Rizzo, and I thought we would have been like a 60-win team. But it's looking like we're gonna, crack at least 75, 80 wins this year, and I'll be happy with that.
Yeah, man. I'm not gonna lie. I can see them try and make a wild card spot in the playoffs. They look good on paper. I feel like the only team they really have to worry about in the division is the Cardinals.
Yeah.
I feel like the Pirates, the Brewers. I feel like Brewers are overrated. Pirates are ass. We know that.
Overrated as fuck.
The Reds are and not good. So I can see them. I can see them. Trying to win the division, but it's gonna be tough. Cardinals a good team.
They definitely have a chance this year. The only thing that struggles me with the Cubs is pitching, starting pitching, man. And I mean, really, the only other team in the division in NL Central with really good starting pitching is the Brewers. They just don't have anyone to hit the ball except Yelich. So, it's gonna be interesting for the Central. I think the Cubs do finish third in the division though, or third or second. Definitely Cardinals taking that division.
All right. Yeah, man, and the White Sox, can they fucking, redeem themselves from last season with fucking Tony La Russa's old ass sleeping in the dugout every fucking game?
Like, come on. Why hire that man? Why hire Tony? I mean, that's old news.
Yeah, it's all news. We got a new general manager now, new coach. Hopefully, his ass can wake this team up. I'm not saying the White Sox are going to win the fucking World Series, but they have a chance to still win the division. You know what I'm saying? Well, they got fucking Benintendi. That's a nice signing.
It's a good contact hitter.
Yeah,
I love Benintendi. I've always loved Benintendi. He plays great defense as well. Mm-hmm. The White Sox are definitely an above average team. I want to say top 10 team this year. Dylan Cease looked great today in his start, and I think the White Sox make the playoffs this year. I think maybe even make a run to the division series, but I don't see them making it past the division series. Maybe next year we could, with the White Sox, could go for a real World Series run.
Yeah, man.
Just missing a couple pieces.
Yeah, they're missing a couple pieces. Can't lie, especially in the bullpen. But you can't sleep on the Guardians. So Cleveland Guardians, I feel like they're gonna be some trouble this year.
That's the only team that I think the White Sox are gonna have trouble with, and the Twins maybe, but more so the Guardians, because the Guardians last year they were best in strikeout rate, and it was not even close. They struck out the least by any team, and I think that makes a huge difference, because if you're making contact with the ball all the time, and especially since the 29th team is so far behind, and Terry Francona knows what he's doing with the hitting coach over there. Man,
what do you think some other teams in MLB? They're gonna be really good contenders. What teams do you think are gonna be pretenders? They're gonna be not what they are.
I think if the Cardinals add a pitcher to the staff, they're contenders. I think the White Sox are contenders. They're missing a couple pieces, but they could be contenders. The Yankees, of course. The Dodgers, of course. I think the Padres, contenders. And honestly, I'm going to go out with the Mariners. I think they just have that team chemistry. They didn't lose too many people. I think they could sneak out and win that AL or make a wild card, how they did last year.
Yeah, man. I like Seattle because they were good last season. I can see Seattle, going to playoffs. I can see the Phillies. They're gonna be contenders. The Padres. Man, who else is out there for the American League? Yankees, of course. Come on, we know that.
Blue Jays.
The Blue Jays. There you go. I could definitely see them because 2 years ago they didn't make the playoffs. Last year they made the playoffs, but they got bounced first round. This year I could really see them at least try to make a little run.
They need to make a move to get a real starting pitcher. Manoah is a great 2 or 3, but he shouldn't be your starting day opener. Starting day. He shouldn't be starting opening day. He shouldn't be your number 1 guy.
Yeah, man. Oh, man. I'm trying to think of teams that I think that's gonna be pretenders. I'm trying to think, man. I think the Rangers. They look good on paper, but I feel like they're not going to be that this year.
I feel like the Rangers, similar to the Cubs, they're going to have a similar record around the 500 mark.
And I feel like the Mets.
Ooh.
I feel like the Mets might be pretenders this year, bro. Justin Verlander just went to fucking IL. They lost Edwin Diaz out for the season. Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong, they might be good, but I feel like they're not going to be what people think they are going to be this season. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
The Mets, that's a tough one for me. We got to see how the season plays out. But I think they could sneak into the playoffs, but definitely no World Series run for them this year, especially with the injuries already to Edwin Diaz and Justin Verlander. Yeah.
who you got? American League MVP. Let's hear it right now.
Shohei Ohtani.
I was going to say, Shohei Ohtani is going to win MVP this year, dog. I think he's going to win it this year, bro. The way he looked at the World Baseball Classic, it just shows me, like, yeah, he's ready for this MLB season, bro.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. For National League, who you got?
It's tough, man. It's a few names, but I think I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna take a little wild one. This is a wild one. Manny Machado.
Wow, Manny Machado.
Yeah, Manny Machado. I think he was in the race last season. I feel like maybe he might make a push. There's a few names out there. Paul Goldschmidt won it last year, right?
Ooh, you just took the name out of my mouth.
Oh, I was gonna say.
Yeah, I was gonna say Paul Goldschmidt, Nolan Arenado. That's who I got for my the two I got for the NL MVP.
Yeah, man. But speaking about baseball, the White Sox got the win with the Astros. Good win.
Yeah,
3-2. That was nice. That's about it for this episode, man. Like, subscribe, share all that other shit. Tune in next episode.
Next episode, Pereira, Izzy, number 4. Izzy's 0-3 against this man.
Yep.
Let's see if he can get that competitive fire in him. I know he doesn't want to lose this one. He was winning the last one. This is going to be an interesting fight, y'all. Stay tuned next week. We'll give y'all predictions. And we're gonna be fucking gangsters with them.
We're going to be teed the fuck up this weekend. Best believe that. So, tune in next episode, man. We appreciate y'all. Let's fucking get it. Peace out, y'all.
Peace out, y'all. What was it? 22?